Right, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We continue on our trip around Worcestershire. This morning we went around Tom Handley's flock of Romney sheep. That was a very impressive system there. Leave the sheep to it and they get on with it, really impressive. But now we're heading down the road to have a look at a Lllyn flock. I hope you enjoy. I'm sure it'll be something different. Again, I'm finding this going around different farms very valuable because I've picked up so much already just going around the two. So let's go on with it, see how we get on, and hope you enjoy. Right, let's get on with it. So we are on another lambing visit here and we are in Herefordshire. I was wrong before, we weren't in Worcestershire, and today we're with Tim Roberts going around his Llyns / Exlana / what kind of
easy care.
Easy care.
Yeah.
Do you want to give us a little bit of a background on your flock and the system you run here, Tim?
Yeah, we're organic.
Yeah.
We lamb about 800, including the ewe lambs. This is the first year we've lambed all of the ewe lambs. We just took the whole lot, so anything that wasn't up to weight we'll just fatten. Very simple system. Start lambing first couple of days of April normally, a little bit later this year because we just wanted to give the ewes a bit more of a chance in the autumn, last autumn. We graze the ewes on brassicas from end of December really, after the tups come out, until into March if we can. So we rest as much grass as we can. And then they get turned out in batches of between 50 and 100 at lambing time from the last few days of March really. All grass based, we feed no concentrates, quite big on health, so we work with the vets on blood testing to look for those iceberg diseases. We're very low on trace elements here, so we bolus twice a year. Heptavac, bad area for Pasturella, so we're on it with the Heptavac with the lambs. Just very simple, basic. We have gone back to basics. It's evolved over 15 years, our sheep system. It's still evolving. It's a lifetime's work, I think, breeding a flock of sheep.
Your ideas change and grow through time, so your flock develops. If you stayed where you were like 10-15 years ago, you'd be behind the times. You've got to adapt to that market and where you want to take that flock, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. We use a Hampshire Down as a terminal sire. They're just brilliant. They're nice to look at as well, and they're easy lambing. You know, they're no harder than the well, perhaps they're slightly bigger lambs, so we do put them on the older ewes. You know, the Exlanas for us at the moment. There's a lot going on in the wool shedding world. There's low footprint lamb. They're really interesting. I'd like to try one of their New Zealand Wiltshires.
Having been involved with the NSA Next Gen, we went around a lot of flocks with Exlanas and different kind of genetics, and I'm very tempted. I don't know if I can quite get rid of the pedigree Llyns as it is because I've grown them so long, but you don't know what's going to happen in 5 years. But I definitely want to dip my toe and see what could happen, kind of thing. Absolutely glorious here. Just look at this behind us. Lambing outside, not stuck in a shed. Lovely weather. I know it's not always like that, but
better than being on holiday, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Well, this is my holiday today. We'll jump on and have a look round, and Tim's going to talk to us a bit more about the flock and how he runs it all.
These Exlanas are ever so lively. You have to tag them quite quick, or else you'll never catch them.
I'll stay here now, hopefully.
So that we could record all the progeny.
There you go.
Thank you. That's how we did it with the recording, but now we've just really gone back to basics. Just double tagging twin born females and that's it. And
so these should be shedders then?
Yes.
Yeah.
So these ewes in here will be mainly 50, and there'll be a few 75% shedders. In this group.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they take a bit more coming back.
Yeah, so we found the Easy Cares because got a bit more fat about them.
Yeah, yeah.
So far the X-Lanas are brilliant, real sharp lambs, and perhaps even a bit easier born than...
I reckon what you say about the performance, the Clynn's been bred in a way that the fat's been bred off them a bit from some of those performance recorded groups, because they've not looked at traits like that. They've looked a bit much at just the growth rather than everything else that's involved with maternal.
Exactly what my thoughts.
Yeah.
That's why we went away from... This is exactly what we want.
Yeah.
Black fat. One in the night, they got full bellies, and so two ewe lambs. You know, you couldn't ask for any better. Lovely maternal ewe. Shepherd's dream.
Yeah.
For me, this is, you know, especially this weather.
It must be one of the best years for lambing in general. No, my outdoor lamb.
Last year it was cold and wet. Some days it was just horrible going around on the bike, but the sheep didn't seem to care.
No. Do you find they cope well? Well, obviously you've done it 15 years, but do you find they cope well when the conditions do turn bad? Yeah,
we've woken up to snow.
Yeah.
Several times in April, and they, yeah, they're fine. As long as they get up and suck.
Yeah, that's it. As long as they're full bellies.
And I mean, you go out, it's snowing, sleeting.
Yeah.
Usually this time it's gone by mid-morning.
Yeah.
You find them there plastered in mud. You know, you worry about them, but they're fine.
Yeah.
But we're sort of on it all the time, really, when they're busy.
I feel like if next year, by what I've seen, I'd like to not continuous to go around, but go around at least 4 times, like every couple of every 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah. That's a boy. That's a girl. No, we're quite lucky. We've got a lot of old permanent pasture.
Yeah.
We've got some new lays as well. We grow red clover lays, which we feed. We make silage and feed to the calves. In the calves. So we have about 100 suckler cows, and then we've got we do 2 or 3 cuts, and then we fatten the lambs on the red clover lays. Pull the triplets out.
Yeah.
They go onto a red clover lay just to give them that extra boost. And then it gets to mid-March, and we pull the twins out, and they go on slightly better grass.
Yeah.
We keep the singles a bit harder. That's the biggest problem we get is with singles, big singles, getting stuck or a leg back or...
Yeah.
I remember at college they said there's more variation
within the breed
than between breeds.
That's so right.
With the cattle are my main thing, really.
Yeah.
And with the Solares, got pedigree Solares, she bred since 1997. Eliminating the myostatin gene.
It's good for muscle, but it's not good for other stuff.
That one's up to something. A-flock ewes in this bunch.
Do you mind me asking what you scanned at?
I think the A-flock young ewes were 168%.
Yeah.
And the B-flock were well down. They were normally, the older ewes, normally scan us about 180 odd.
Yeah.
And they were 165 or 6.
That'll be a similar scan to what we had last year. The weather the last 2 years has really affected the sheep this year.
We found we were struggling with scanning the
Yeah.
your things. So it seems to have lost, I think, the performance recording helped that, using single born wraps.
Well, it used to be banned. You used to not be allowed to use them unless they were twins.
Born last night, little and large. It gets a little bit earlier as the month goes on.
Yeah.
At the moment we're coming out at 6. Just as the sun's coming up, really. And then when it gets dark, it's best just to leave them.
Yeah.
Quite nice sized fields.
Yeah.
Bits of shelter, some hollows, some big hedges.
Do you find that quite important that, especially outside, they've got the protection when the weather's not so good?
I think that does help us, yeah. They seem to find, when it is sleeting, cold rain, they'll go
lambs with your singles, you keep them quite hard.
Yeah, we keep the singles hard just to
Yeah.
try and limit the lamb size if we can. The biggest problem is singles, leg back. So you can see the shedder.
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, definitely. Smart, you.
Yeah, that's a boy. I am at the moment. We are just tagging singles from the ex-Laners.
Yeah.
Just to try and get our shedding
Yeah.
going a bit quicker. For a couple of years, we only tagged twin-born ewe lambs, but last year and this year we're going to tag single-born. As long as they're off a yearling. So off older ewes we wouldn't, but we're about right numbers-wise. But I just want to get the
shedding going quicker. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's for probably next year. We probably just leave single-born ewe lambs. And they'll just go for meat. You've got to be really hard on selection, haven't you, so that you can progress to get a flock to where you want it to be.
Yeah, and with these, you're saying you lamb the ewe lambs too. It seems to be a trait everywhere I've been. Everyone seems to be lambing ewe lambs. Do you think it makes them better mums as shearlings, or do you just find they get too big as shearlings?
Yeah, well, I think because we have got quite good ground, and our permanent pasture is, I'd say it was quite good permanent pasture.
Yeah.
And we end up with 180 great big fat yearling ewes.
Yeah.
They look tremendous. But you think, well, you could have had 100 or so lambs from without too much
stress on them, because they've got the condition and they're growing well. And
we only leave them with one. We do take, if they're scanned with twins, we'll take one off.
And do you tuck them all, or tuck them over a certain weight, or?
Yeah, we do go. I don't weigh anything. Don't weigh any cattle or any sheep, but I do weigh the ewe lambs before tupping. So about a month before tupping, anything above 35 kilos. That's right structurally. We'll go to the ram.
That's fair.
Anything else this year, we just put them in the fattening group.
And
that's, I think, I've listened to a lot of people about tupping ewe lambs, and we did go away from it, but now we've come back to it. I think it's the right thing to do, as long as they have just one lamb, because we did leave some twins on last year, and I think they did get a bit thin. So that's our policy for this year, just leave them with one, and very low disturbance for the ewe lambs, because they're that flighty.
And do you adopt those onto other ewes or cades, or? We put them on the bottle. And if we get any singles that lose a lamb, we do as much fostering as we can. We'll skin it. If we come out and find a big dead single, we'll skin it and put them on. But again, we used to try and do a lot of wet fostering. We used to have the singles in a shed at one point. Did that for a couple of years, and we go and pinch a triplet if we saw one lambing in the shed and wet foster it on. But then we'd get so many lambing in the night, or when you weren't there, you wouldn't catch them, and you'd end up trailering them out, and you think, what's the point of? You creating work for the sake of saving. I know what you mean.
So we thought, well, we'd rather have a few more lambs on the bottle. But we got a chap this year that's keen on having them at a day or so old. So hopefully we can do away with that expense and hassle, because that's, the milk powder's dear, and and we got enough going on without messing about with lambs on the bottle, really. So we usually end up with about 40 on the bottle by the time we've picked up a few hungry lambs and and taken off triplets, and they're never as good as the other lambs.
No.
So we might as well have 10 or 15 quid for them as a day or two old, and not have to buy milk powder. That's the thinking for this year. Well, as I say, every year, we just keep trying, evolving and doing different things, and that's
it. If you stay where you are, you'll never see different options, and sometimes you try stuff, it won't work, and other times you try stuff and it's amazing. But it's just finding which bits work for you and which don't.
That's it. Yeah. We tried maybe 6 or 7 years ago. I regret not going more heavily into it.
It's weird how things have changed. 6-7 years ago, people would all and ah if you were with like shedding sheep, but now it's in fashion. Everyone's like, going down that route. Not everyone, but a lot of people are thinking about that route.
I think from the maternal side, it's definitely the way. But anyway, we had to check back last summer after we sent our last year's work. quarter of a ton, I think, but it was zero payment.
Do you use fly treatment on them still?
Yeah, we do, yeah. It's not good. We're organic, and I'm fully, you know, I really, the more I do, the more I appreciate being organic, and I want to go down that route more and more.
Yeah.
And you know, we're all organic certified, but we still have to use fly products because it's a welfare issue.
Yeah, yeah.
For where we are with all the trees and brooks, so you know, using that goes against the grain really. So if we can avoid that by using cheddars,
Yeah,
genetics, then that's another big plus for us as well.
how do you get on when you what you do about worming lambs? You do an egg count and then
I think that should be compulsory for
oh yeah,
anyone. So that's a real eye opener. That's really good.
so these are heifers that you put out this morning, did you say?
Yeah. So we've got 3 pedigree breeds. We've got the Solairs, which we've bred since 1997.
Yeah.
And we've got the beef shorthorns, which were on the estate when we were share farming here. We
Yeah.
bought out the landowners' shorthorns, and then we've got a lovely herd of pedigree Herefords.
Yeah.
The tenant where we live now, he had a lovely herd of Herefords, and so we took on some of his spring calving cows. And yeah, so we're enjoying the Herefords.
So what kind of system do you run with these? When will you carve these?
They calve February, March indoors.
Yeah.
They're weaned in late October, early November. Full forage fed. We make red clover silage and a little bit of spring barley. We do grow some spring barley. So yeah, very along with the sheep, you know, easy care, using genetics and health rather than throwing feed at them. So they're all pedigree registered, vaccinated. We're in a high health scheme, BVD, Yoni's accredited. We vaccinate for BVD and lepto. We halter break all the females, and we try and sell some breeding females and the odd breeding bull as well.
So just going past these trial plots, what's the difference between different plots? Just different clovers and
yeah, we've got some new varieties of red clover.
okay.
Clover that we're trialing. It spreads like white clover.
So just going around this is the other side of the trial plots from the track, isn't it?
Yeah.
And these are all your first and second calf Solairs.
Yeah, they get lots of attention and focus on temperament. You know, that's our #1 thing really. Because we halter break them, anything that, you know, isn't broken after 3 times on the halter goes in the fattening pan.
Yeah.
We don't get many, you know, they're all very biddable and docile really. Anything that's funny when it calves is out as well. Not that we've had one like that for several years really. So.
There's some breeds you would not be able to do this.
No.
So on top of the sheep and cattle, Tim's wife Laura is diversified into a forest school, which is quite cool. It's not something you see on every farm, is it? So what does she do here? You're saying you have children come every day, pretty much?
She has groups every day. So,
yeah.
Parent and toddler groups. They come in and they have a fire and they make bread or donuts or something on the fire, or cook some sausages. And she has birthday parties at the weekend, so they can come and do arts and crafts in some of the shelters there and just play. There's no structure. She does home educated children as well, so they come in. She does farm school, then they come up here, and it's just very, you know, they're just let loose. They can choose whatever activities they want to do. They can go and play on the strap lines or climb on there, or you know, just climb a tree or do arts and crafts. Or cook on the fire.
It's very cool because a lot of those children won't get the chance to come in the outdoors normally like this onto a farm, would they? So it's nice for them to get out and be able to do something a bit different.
It's empty.
So on top of the forest school, they've also got a very cool shepherd's hut that we're going past now, which Tim's just telling me there's hardly ever any vacancies, but it looks very cool. There's a what do you call it? Not a well, it's a jacuzzi. What's the problem? A wood-fired hot tub. A little fire so you can go in and sit around there in the evening, but looks very nice. And there's a big area to play and all that kind of stuff too. So just trying to avoid the electric fence. And whereabouts are you based if people would like to ever come and stay or chat to about the forest school?
We're between Bromyard and Worcester.
Cool.
Not far off the main A44.
And do you have a Facebook or?
Yes, yeah, Lara's on Facebook, Green Tree Adventures.
Cool.
And Shepherd's Hut's on Airbnb.
Yeah, I'll put a link in the description so you can find them, but really nice and a great idea for taking school kids and stuff like that around too.
We were going to go to the Great Yorkshire because it was the Solaire Society planned their 40th anniversary national show.
Yeah, so this is the show team. What shows have you got planned this year?
Our local is the Three Counties.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's quite a few one-day shows that we go to. So we've got Tenbury, Burwarton, Norton the Marsh. Where else do we go? Kington.
Yeah.
So this is my son's heifer, Archie's heifer. There's a foundation for his own Solaire herd. And these two are homebred. Our herd.
Right, that is the farm tour done. Really interesting once again, see cattle, sheep, everything. And they're opening up a farm shop too, so I've got to try the ice cream and some of their traditional sausages too, which we call that is tea sorted, which is ideal. If you haven't already, please do go and check out the pages for the farm school, the new farm shop and everything else. Very kind of him and Tom this morning for letting me go around. So there is a few more of these farm tours to come because we're going to see some more cool farms in different situations with different breeds to open up my thinking and different things. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, please like the video and don't forget to subscribe. Right, now the trip home and some ice cream.